And I just remember sitting in the Bakersfield Chapel, and I think I was on day 4 of my second time in, and I was sitting there and I was just crying, and the Lord's like, it's gonna be okay. The softest voice, it's gonna be okay. You know, I really had to address a lot of self-image issues growing up. I always knew that God was in the background. I just never truly appreciated him the way I should have. You know, I fell in love with the needle more than the drug itself, and that just led me in a downward spiral of just, you know, really demonic torment. I ended up being homeless on Skid Row because that's where my addiction took me. I was so comfortable being broken. Like, in the sense of, I was so okay with shooting drugs into my arm. I was so okay with sleeping with men for money. I didn't think I was valuable enough to live a normal life. Looking back on it now, I realize that I couldn't sit still in myself, because once you know God's truth and God's love, when you let that sin back in, you can't sit still. Because inside of you, you know deep down it's not right, but your flesh is just like, just go for it, just go for it. And I walked in the doors of LA Teen Challenge. And I walked in, and Darlene and Kelly and Eloise, everyone there, they just told me my eyes were black. My soul was really dark, and that I just wasn't who they remember. And I just remember one night, the very, very first night that I got into Teen Challenge, they took us to Northeast of the Well, which is a partnership that they have. And I sat in the audience, and I was too ashamed to go up at the altar call to ask for prayer. I didn't think I was worth it. I didn't think, you know, I deserved to be prayed over. And this woman, Judy, came over, and she sat with me in my mess, in the seat, and she just let me cry in her arms. And so for the first time in such a long time, I felt like it was gonna be okay. You know, we fast forward a little bit, I graduate restoration. I ended up going to TCMI, which was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. You know, just really experienced ministry and people. I ended up meeting my current husband there. You know, the Lord put it on my heart to really get into medicine. And so I ended up applying with American Ambulance here in Fresno, and they hired me almost instantly. And today I'm able to serve Fresno community in a way that I never thought possible. And I actually run into people all the time where I gave them Teen Challenge phone number, and I'm like, hey, you're tired. There's a place to go, it's free. They just want to love you. And a lot of the time they're kind of like, that's not real. And I'm like, oh no, it is. It is real, it saved my life. And sometimes I have to show them scars on my arms to prove it. And as the moment I do that, they're like, oh, this is real, okay. As I look back on my life, I look at how God just detailed everything so perfectly. If I hadn't gone to Teen Challenge in 2013, I wouldn't have met Kelly. If I hadn't met Kelly, I wouldn't have cried out when I was on Skid Row. You know, if I hadn't cried out on Skid Row, who knows where I would have been. But I know I wouldn't have met Josh and TCMI because we wouldn't have really run into each other. And it's just crazy how you can, in the moment, you don't see the plan. But you fast forward a few years and you're like, oh man, God, you were in it all the way. You had this all figured out. Teen Challenge is a place of second chances.